Hello, this is McD the Beast, and this is McD Sports 4 coming to you today with my college football Week 5 picks for the 2021 college football season. Before I continue, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate you do that. Really try and grow the channel. We want to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year, so go ahead and do that if you're new to the channel. You will not regret it. I hope nobody watched the college football pick video last week because boy did I embarrass myself. And the thing is, that was our best viewed one. So we almost hit 200 views on it. I think we're at like 195, right in that ballpark. So I hope to hit 200 on this. But not a good week from picking games last week. There was kind of a wacky week, um, basically. So I mean, a lot of tight games, a lot of a few upsets. Here's the records from last weekend overall. We did not go above 500 in any category, which is bad. Overall, we went 12-13. Against the spread, we went 9-16. Locks of the week 1-4. That's horrible. We should not be going 1-4 in our locks of the week. Upsets. Thank you Wake Forest for not giving me a goose egg. 1-4. So I mean, well, it was just a bad week for. We gotta be better. There's no excuses. We gotta be better. Overall records now 68-41 overall against the spread, 60-49. Locks of the week 13-8. That we gotta be better in those locks of the week record over time. I mean, we cannot be 13-8 in that. Upsets of the week 8-13. That's not horrible, but I like it to be at least a little bit better. I want to be like around 500 in the upsets, even above 500 if possible. So the way I do these picks, I pick I pick it straight up, 20 games, then 5 locks of the week, 5 upsets of the week. I pick every game straight up and against the spread. The spreads from DraftKings that will lock at 11:30 p.m. On Tuesday night, and I give you a score for each game as well. So let's get into it. 30 games this week. I upped it from 25 to 30 because I felt like we left a few games out last week that should have been picked, mainly the Memphis UTSA game. But 30 games this week. Let's talk about it. First game we're going to pick is the Thursday night game, Virginia versus Miami. Miami, they are a 5-point favorite at home. This is a Thursday night game. I don't know what to think of this game. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Virginia's defense does not look that good. I don't think Miami's a good team at all. I think Miami, with it being at home on Thursday night, I think they find a way to win this game, but I'm going to take Virginia +5. I have it 21-19 Miami. I think it's a low-scoring game. I think Miami does find a way to win this game, though. So I'm going to go ahead and just take Miami, but I'll take Virginia +5. Next game, Minnesota versus Purdue. Purdue is a 2.5-point favorite at home against a Minnesota team. In my opinion, just absolutely crapped the bed against Bowling Green last week. I mean, what a horrible loss by Minnesota there. Purdue, they're coming off a tight win against Illinois, a low-scoring game. I think this game's going to be low-scoring as well. It's in West Lafayette. I mean, I think Purdue wins this game. I'm going to say they cover as well. I have it by a field goal, 2.5. I'll just take the push there at 2.5 and say that they win by a field goal. They'll win and cover. I got this game 13-10 Purdue. I think it's low scoring. I just think Purdue makes a play. The game's at home. They'll find a way to win. I'll say that they win and cover 13-10 Purdue. Next game is Texas versus TCU. TCU is a 5-point dog at home against Texas. TCU has beat Texas 7 out of the past 9 times. I think TCU has a really good shot to pull off the upset here. But my gut's telling me take Texas in the points. TCU, they're coming off a disappointing loss to SMU. I rewatched the short version of that game. I don't think TCU is as good as some people make them out to believe. Some people were saying TCU is a top 25 team. I wasn't buying that. I do think TCU will hang around this game, but I like Texas to win and cover. I like them by a touchdown. I like Texas to win this game 34-27. Next game is Arkansas versus Georgia. This is a top 10 matchup. Game day is going to be here. It's number 8 Arkansas versus number 2 Georgia. I look at the spread. I'm definitely taking Arkansas plus 18.5. This is going to be a 4-quarter game. Arkansas, in my opinion, is the biggest surprise so far this college football season. I do think Georgia's going to win, though. It's in Athens. This is a noon game on ESPN, which is, don't get me started with that. I don't think this should be a noon game at all. But at the same time, they scheduled these games 2 weeks out. They didn't think Arkansas was going to be this good. I don't think anybody thought Arkansas was going to look that dominant over Texas A&M. More on them in a second. You look at Georgia. I think they're a good team. I think they are the number 2 team in the country. JT Daniels, he's very good. Georgia, I think, finally has something going offensively. I do think this is a 4-quarter game, so I'm taking Arkansas plus 18.5, but I think Georgia wins this game. I'm going to go, I think it's going to be kind of back and forth, but maybe Georgia pulls away a little bit. I'm going to go 27-20 Georgia. I got Georgia by a touchdown in this one, but I think this spread is way too big, and I'm going to take and I think this is an easy take Arkansas plus 18.5. Okay, next game, Tennessee versus Missouri. Missouri, 3-point favorites at home. I think they win and cover here. Missouri, they can score. Missouri can, and usually they can score, but they could definitely score this year. Defensively, I do think there's question marks for Missouri. So I do think this game's gonna be a shootout. So I don't know what the number is, but I'll definitely take the over if it's anything under like 65. But I'm going to take Missouri to win and cover here. I think they win this one by a touchdown. They'll find a way to win this one. I'll go ahead and take Missouri to win. I got the score 38-31 Missouri in this one. I think they are the better team. It's in Columbia, Missouri. Go ahead, give me Missouri over Tennessee to win and cover. All right, next game's here. Louisville versus Wake Forest. Wake Forest is a 6.5-point favorite at home against Louisville. The question is, how much do you trust Wake Forest and how much do you trust Louisville? I think Wake Forest finds a way to win this game. I think they cover as well. I trust Wake Forest more than I do Louisville at this point. I want to take Wake Forest to win this game by a touchdown, 6.5. They're 6.5-point favorite. I'm going to take them to win and cover to win this game by a touchdown. I'm going 31-24 Wake Forest. I think this game could be determine the ACC coast. I mean, excuse me, the ACC Atlantic. I really think it could. I mean, you look at Clemson; they're ailing. More on them in a second, but I mean, I think, in my opinion, if I was picking the ACC championship game, I would say Wake Forest versus Georgia Tech. I would, and more on Georgia Tech in a second as well. So I think Wake Forest, I think they win and cover 31-24 over Louisville. Louisville's not a bad team. They're better than what I thought they were going to be. But with this game on the road, I can see them losing by a touchdown. So I'm going to take Wake Forest 31-24. Wake Forest wins and covers. Next game is Appalachian State versus Georgia State. This game is a Sun Belt game. Georgia State's a 10-point dog at home. I think Appalachian State wins this game, but I'm going to take Georgia State plus 10. They looked very good against Auburn. A lot of people think Auburn got bailed out by SEC West. I don't know about that. I admit, I mean, I did think it was questionable, some of the calls in this game, but I don't know necessarily if they got bailed out. You look at Georgia State. I mean, Sean Elliott's going to be coaching a Power 5 program. He was the interim at South Carolina in 2015 after that whole Steve Spurrier thing. They should have kept him. They really should have. I think he would have done better than Muschamp. But Sean Elliott, he will get a Power 5 job at some point. He already has a big Power 5 win against Tennessee. He almost beat Auburn. So, I mean, he definitely has his players ready to play. If you watch Georgia State, that you could tell these guys are bought into what Sean Elliott is selling. Appalachian State, they're a good team. They found a way to beat Marshall. They on the road. I think they go into Georgia State. I think it's a close game. I got Appalachian State though by a touchdown. I got them winning this game. 34-27, but I think Georgia State does cover that plus 10. I'm taking Georgia State plus 10, but they don't win. I got Appalachian State 34-27. Okay, next game, Southern Cal versus Colorado. This is their first Pac-12 matchup. A lot of Pac-12 and SEC matchups in this one. Southern Cal, 7-point favor on the road against a Colorado team. Which is, I mean, I said Colorado was going to get smoked by Arizona State. They kind of did. You look at, you go ahead, you look at Colorado got shut out by Minnesota, 35-13 loss to Arizona State. They're at home against a Southern Cal team that's coming off an embarrassing loss to Oregon State. More of them in a second. Um, I think Southern Cal goes on the road and finds a way to win this game. I think they bounce back. God, that spread's tough though. Um, I think Southern Cal pulls away. I think they pull away. I think Colorado doesn't have a good offense. I think Southern Cal finds a way at least get to that 24, 27 point area. I got Southern Cal in this one 27-17. I got Southern Cal by 10. I think they're the better team. I think they go on the road, find a way to beat Colorado 27-17 and win and cover. Next game is the top 10 matchup, one of the two top 10 matchups. We already talked about the first one. Cincinnati versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a 1.5 point dog at home against Cincinnati, despite winning in a blowout fashion, really by some pick sixes late in the game by against Wisconsin. Look at Cincinnati. I think a lot of people want Cincinnati to win this game. I think Cincinnati is going to treat this like their Super Bowl. And I think Cincinnati goes in there and wins and covers. I don't think they're the better team. I think these two teams are pretty even, but I think Cincinnati is going to win it more, and I think they find a way to win this game. I think it's kind of low scoring. I'm not absolutely sold on Notre Dame still. I think Notre Dame just got lucky because Gramber's just absolutely pooped the bed against them last week and up there in Chicago. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take Cincinnati to win this game and cover 20-14 Cincinnati. I got them by 6, 20-14 Cincinnati, and this will be a big win for Cincinnati because look at Notre Dame's schedule. North Carolina doesn't look as good. Southern Cal doesn't look as good. So definitely, I think this could be a big win for Cincinnati because I think Notre Dame will get to that 10-win mark. If they could go on the road and win this game, which I think they will, 1.5 point favorites, they'll win and cover 20-14. And then Ole Miss versus Alabama. This is the 1 versus 12 matchup. Alabama number 1 going at home up against number 12 Ole Miss. As I said earlier in some of the videos, I was seriously considering picking Ole Miss to go ahead and just pull out the outright upset. It would not surprise me if Ole Miss goes into Alabama and just pulls off the upset. Alabama will win this game. I'm definitely taking Ole Miss plus 14.5 because I don't think this is going to be more than a 2-touchdown game. So I'm taking Ole Miss plus 14.5. This game I think is going to be one of those games. Can a team get to around 40 points? Can a team at least get to the upper 30s? Because in my opinion, Ole Miss is a type of offense you just got to rate them down for 28 points. I mean, you got to at least score 30 on them to win. And I think Alabama is very capable of that. But can they get to 40? I don't think they break 40, but I do think they win a tight game. I got this game 38-30 Alabama. I think maybe they pull away a little bit late. Maybe they make a play on defense. I got Alabama by 8, but it would not surprise me if Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss goes in there and gets the victory. And Ole Miss, they've been playing defense. I mean, 38, that's going to be kind of a disappointing defensive day for them. But, I mean, they are a good defense. So it won't surprise me if it's even a little bit more low scoring. But I think it's going to turn into a shootout, sort of, maybe a defensive play or two. 38-30 Alabama. Next game is Nevada versus Boise State. Boise State is a 6.5 point favorite at home against Nevada. This is possibly a preview of a Mountain West championship. I know in the West Division there in the Mountain West, I know San Diego State and Fresno State have something to say about that. Boise State looks like the clear front runners in the Mountain Division. I'm not sold on Wyoming. They barely survived UConn, which is embarrassing. I think Boise State wins and covers. I think, as I said, I know they struggle some in the non-conference against UCF and Oklahoma State. They still have BYU on the schedule in the non-conference. I think they probably lose to them as well down the road. But I think in the conference, I think they're pretty good. I think they'll beat everybody up in the conference. I had them 8-0 in the preseason in the conference. I'm still believing in that. I think they win here, and I think they cover. Nevada's a team, in my opinion. I said they'll beat Cal week 1, and they did. I said they'll lose to Kansas State in week 2 or 3, whichever week that was, and they did. I I mean, to me, Nevada's a type of team. I do think they could definitely compete with Boise State, but I think Boise State pulls away, especially at home. I'm going to go 31-20 Boise State. I got them by 11. I think they win and cover. Next game is Oregon versus Stanford. I seriously consider putting this in the upset category. I'll admit it. I think Stanford has a good shot to pull off the upset here. I don't think they do at the end, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and take Stanford +8. But I think Oregon finds a way, wins this game on the road. They're just a better team, in my opinion. I like Oregon in this one, 24-17. I think they just make a play or two, and that's the difference. But I'm going to take Oregon by a touchdown. Give me Stanford +8. Would not surprise me if Stanford pulls off the upset. I think Oregon has to be on upset alert. Next game is Florida versus Kentucky. The rule for the Florida versus Kentucky matchup is take Florida to win and cover. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Listen, I don't think Kentucky's a bad team. It would not surprise me if they cover this spread or even flat out win the game. But when you look at I mean, it's just a psychological thing with Kentucky. I don't believe Mark Stoops. I don't believe that locker room believes that they could beat Florida. So that's the psychological issue there. That's why I'm taking Florida to win and cover here. It's just kind of the rule with me. There's just a few matchups in college football that no matter what, I'm taking one team because of psychological issue, because of the psychological factor. And this is one of those matchups: Florida versus Kentucky. Give me Florida to win and cover the points. I got this score 30-20 Florida. I got Florida by 10. Next game, this is the last top 25 matchup. It's not a top 25 matchup in the McD Sports 4 poll. I don't have Baylor ranked. I do have Oklahoma State ranked though. They're ranked 19 in the McD Sports 4 poll, and they're also ranked 19 in the AP poll. Number 21 Baylor versus number 19 Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's a 3.5-point favorite at home. I do think they win and cover. I was kind of wrong on Oklahoma State. After kind of the slow start, I thought things might go south there at Oklahoma State. Um, but I'll admit I was wrong. They went up to Boise, found a way to beat Boise State. Um, and they're just rolling. I mean, they beat Kansas State at home by 11. That was a ranked team. I thought Kansas State would at least cover that 6-point spread. They didn't. I think Oklahoma State finds a way and wins. At our worst, they find a way to win this game. But I think they win and cover. I think they take care of Baylor. As a matter of fact, I think this has good potential to be a 2-possession game. I have it as an 8-point game. I wasn't that I didn't go that far, but I have this game 28-20 Oklahoma State. I think they win the game by 8. I think this is a good team. Looking at the Big 12, I think Big 12 is wide open. So if Oklahoma State continues to win, find themselves in the Big 12 championship game, we'll see what happens. But I think they'll win this game. I think it's a quality win. Give Baylor credit. They're 4-0. They upset Iowa State, a game which I thought Iowa State would go in there and win that game by at least 2 touchdowns or so. So, I think Oklahoma State, they get a quality win. Top 25 win, 28-20 Oklahoma State. Arizona State versus UCLA. This is another big matchup, I think, in the Pac-12. Arizona State, they're ranked in their pool at number 24, number 25. I forget which one. I think it's 25. It's in the McD Sports 4 pool. They're ranked 25 against unranked UCLA. But UCLA, they are ranked in the top 25. And UCLA, they're a top 30 team, in my opinion. This is a big matchup here in the Pac-12. This matchup can go a long way in determining who can win the Pac-12 South. I do think the race is between these two teams. I'm not overly impressed with Utah. Southern Cal, in my opinion, is in the toilet right now. You look at this matchup. It's in UCLA. I mean, this is flip of the coin. I took UCLA by a field goal since they're home. I took Arizona State plus 3.5. But I think UCLA, I think they win by a field goal. I got this game 30-27 UCLA. I cannot wait to watch this game on Saturday night. This is going to be a big game for the Pac-12. Whoever could win this game, I think, has a good shot to win the Pac-12 South. Go ahead, give me UCLA. I think they find a way to do it at home. 30-27 UCLA. But Arizona State will cover the 3.5-point spread. Okay, Washington State versus Cal. Cal kind of screwed me out of a point spread bet. I took Washington minus 7.5 last week, and Washington was only won by 7. Cal, those 7.5-point favorites at home. Cal has to win this game. I mean, you gotta think Cal has to win this game. Justin Wilcox, he's heating up. You gotta think he has to win this game. Um, they'll win, but they won't cover. I only have this game by a touchdown. I think I'm taking Washington State on the road plus 7.5. Washington State, they're not that good of a team. Um, they're gonna struggle to get to a bowl game in my opinion. But I'm gonna take Cal. But I'm gonna take Washington State plus 7.5. I got Cal winning this game. I think it's kind of low scoring, maybe a bit of a back and forth game, maybe some offense in the second half. I got 27-20 Cal. Okay, next game, Liberty versus UAB. Liberty disappointed me last week against Syracuse. I thought Liberty was going in there and taking care of business against Syracuse by at least 10 points. They lost. UAB, they also, I mean, I thought Tulane would beat UAB. They didn't. So these two teams, in my opinion, kind of interesting places. UAB at home, 2-point favorite at home. I'm gonna take UAB. I mean, I am. I'm also gonna go ahead and take UAB to go ahead and cover as well because I got this game by 3. I'm taking UAB in this one. I have it 23-20 UAB. I think they're the better team. And with the game in UAB, I'll take UAB. Next game is Indiana versus Penn State. Penn State is a 12.5-point favorite at home. This is the ABC night game. Indiana, give them credit. They went on the road and find a way to beat Western Kentucky. But I told you guys during the preseason, I wasn't high on Indiana. I thought it was a fluke because the Big Ten was down. The big boys in the Big Ten were down, and you're seeing it. They already lost to Cincinnati by 2 touchdowns. Like Grant, that game, they were in that game for that was a 4-quarter game, but Cincinnati pulled away. They got blown out by Iowa, so I think Indiana still has at least a few more losses coming on the schedule. They'll give Penn State their best shot. That's why I am going to take Indiana plus 12.5. Penn State, the whole offense is Sean Clifford, which, in my opinion, isn't the best thing in the world. You got to get a running game going if you're Penn State. I do think Penn State wins this game. I got Penn State by a touchdown. I think Indiana gives them the best shot, but go ahead, give me Penn State by a touchdown. 28-21 Penn State. Night game there. Penn State will at least find a way to win this game, but I'm going to take Indiana plus 12.5. Next game is Auburn versus LSU. 9 p.m. game here on ESPN. I'm going to take LSU to win and cover here. Some people were like, oh well, LSU, they're not that good. Some people were taking Mississippi State to win that game. We took LSU last week to go into Mississippi State, Stark Vegas, to win and cover, and that's what they did. Granted, it was only a 2.5-point spread. It was only a field goal win, but I told you they'll win and cover, and they did. I think they win and cover here again. And listen, Auburn's a good team. I'm not. This is not due to last week. I do think Auburn is a top 25-ish, top 30 team. But I think LSU, Death Valley night game, I think they win this game by a touchdown. I think it's kind of low scoring. I got 20-13 LSU. Go ahead, give me the Tigers. Well, both teams will name the Tigers. Go ahead, give me the LSU Tigers, the Bengal Tigers, to win this game and cover 2013. And then the last game in the straight up category, Washington versus Oregon State. Oregon State is a 2.5-point favorite at home against Washington. I do believe this is a reaction to last week, with Oregon State just basically blowing out Southern Cal. I mean, it was an 18-point game. I could still blow out a 21-point game. But I think this is just a bit of an overreaction. I didn't put this in the upset category because for it to be an upset, it has to be at least a 3-point underdog. But I do think Washington goes on the road plus 2.5. I'm going to take them to win outright, pull off the minor upset. I'll take Washington in this one. I think this game is a back and forth game. I do think it's competitive. And trust me, Oregon State, that was probably the biggest win they had in a while there at Oregon State. But I'm going to take Washington in this one. I think they find a way to win this game. Maybe kind of a weird game. I'm going to go 26-20 Washington. I think they find a way to win this game 26-20. All right, so now the locks of the week. So that was the straight up category. Now the locks of the week. First lock of the week, Michigan versus Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin goes ahead and wins and covers here -1. I mean, you look at this game, and I said last week, I thought that Michigan, they were toying around a little bit with Rutgers in the second half. I watched a short version of that game. I'm going to be honest with you, Cade McNamara, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, this is gonna be competition. Who's the worst quarterback? This is gonna be a low scoring, just barn burner of a game, in my opinion. I think Wisconsin. What I think is gonna happen is I think Wisconsin breaks one off for a touchdown, and that's the difference in the running game. I think they break one off in the running game, and that's gonna be the difference. I'm going to take Wisconsin and win this game. I got 10-3 Wisconsin. I got Wisconsin by 7 points. I think they win and cover. I think this is my first lock of the week. Okay, second lock of the week: Mississippi State versus Texas A&M. I like Texas A&M -7 at home to win and cover. Some people were saying in the offseason that this could be a tight game. I get that, but after last week, I think Texas A&M, I think they're going to try to make a statement game out of this. I like them to win this game by around 2 touchdowns. I think Mississippi State, I don't think they're a bad team, but they might be bottom of the barrel in the SEC West. I like the Aggies in this one to win this game. I got the score in this one 37-26. I got about 11. So go ahead, give me the Aggies by 11 in this one, 37-26. Next game here, a little Conference USA play. Here, Old Dominion versus UTEP. UTEP is a 5.5-point favorite at home. UTEP will win and cover big time. The reason why this spread is only 5.5 because it's UTEP. UTEP's actually not one of the worst teams in the Conference USA anymore. They're actually a middle of the road team. They're in the Conference USA. This offense is clicking. They're pretty good. Old Dominion, not a good team at all. I like UTEP to win and cover. And I like UTEP to win this game by about 3 touchdowns. I got the score here 41-17 UTEP. I think this game's a blowout. Go ahead, give me UTEP -5.5. And then the other 2 games I picked here as locks, I kind of just threw them in there because these were the only 3 I was positive about locks, but I give you 5 each week, so I had to think of another 2. The first one I took was Texas Tech versus West Virginia -7. Texas Tech, their defense is horrible. You gave up 70 to Texas. Yikes. West Virginia, I know there's questions about the quarterback. This defense, though, for West Virginia is good enough to at least keep them in the game. If the way Texas Tech's defense is, West Virginia can win this game, especially at home by 2-3 touchdowns, in my opinion. I have this game as a 15-point game, 34-19 West Virginia. I think they win and cover here. And then the last game, and Maryland fans, you're going to kill me about this because I am a Maryland Terps fan. I think Iowa wins and covers in this one. I'll be honest with you. I'm not 100% sold on this one. I do think Maryland definitely has a shot in this one. But I'm taking Iowa to win and cover here. I do have the score in this one as 27-17 Iowa. Well, actually, let me revise that. I have a 27-21 Iowa. I decided to revise that last second. I have Iowa by 6. This game, in my opinion, I think Maryland's going to break off 2-3 plays against this Iowa defense to keep them in it. But the question is, can the Maryland defense make a few plays? I think they'll make a play or 2. They need to make a few more plays than a play or 2, though, to really have a good shot beating Iowa. And listen, Maryland was only a 3-point dog in this game. A lot of people were saying last year, or not last year, 2019, the big game against Penn State. People weren't going to classes all week, getting ready for this Friday night game, and they're doing it again this week. This game's a bigger game than that Penn State game. That Penn State game in 2019, to me, was not a big game at all. So, in my opinion, Maryland student section, they're going to be rocking. The whole stadium's going to be packed. They're going to be rocking. I think we just come up a bit short. But I don't think Maryland's a bad team. I think we're a good team. I think we're an 8-win team. I think this offense is really good. Defensively, we're getting better. I just think Iowa defense, I just think they're going to make a play or 2 against us. We'll break 1 or 2 against them, but they're going to make a play or 2 against us, and that's going to be the difference. 27-21 Iowa, they'll win and cover on the road. Okay, upsets of the week. The way the upsets work, they have to be at least 3-point dogs to be considered upset. 5 upsets for you, I believe. Actually, no. One of them is I think a MAC one. The first one is Pitt versus Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's a 3.5 point underdog at home. I think they pull off the upset here. This is a revenge game for Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech fans are looking forward to this one. I think with the game at home, that crowd is going to be packed. I think Georgia Tech actually has a good shot to win the ACC Coastal, especially if they could beat Pitt, because if they could beat Pitt, I mean, they have the win against North Carolina. Instead of Virginia Tech, I think they'll beat Virginia Tech. I think that game's in Atlanta, so I think that they'll win that one. I think they have a good shot the way the schedule sets up to win the ACC Coastal, and it starts with this game against Pitt. They want revenge. They're going to win this game. I think Georgia Tech will. Tight game, 24-20, Georgia Tech. I think they pull off the upset. Yeah, here's the MAC game. Western Michigan versus Buffalo. Buffalo is a 6.5 point dog at home against Western Michigan. I know Buffalo, it took a little bit of a step back, primarily because of the late coaching change. Western Michigan, yeah, they have a good offense. This defense is not good for Western Michigan at all. Buffalo, with the game in Buffalo, 6.5 point underdogs. I think they pull off the upset. I do. I got Buffalo in this one. It'll turn into a bit of a shootout, but I think 31-27 Buffalo. I've got them winning this game and pulling off the upset. Next game is Syracuse versus Florida State. I picked Florida State several times on this channel and they burned me. If you gave me $100 to take Florida State to win and cover here, I wouldn't even do that. I'm taking Syracuse on the road plus 4.5 to pull off the upset against Florida State. It is bad in Tallahassee right now. I mean, it is bad. Syracuse, listen, they lost to Rutgers 17-7. They pull off that upset against Liberty, which was good. Syracuse, they're better than what I thought they were going to be, and they could pull off a few wins in the ACC, in my opinion. I don't know if they get to a bowl game, but I can see them pulling off two wins in the ACC, maybe going 2-6. But I think one of them is going to be this one against Florida State. I think they pull off the upset plus 4.5 on the road. I'll take Syracuse over Florida State, and the score I have for this one is. I think it's kind of low scoring because Syracuse offensively there are question marks there. But I'm going to take Syracuse 26-23. I'll take them by a field goal. Next game, Oklahoma versus Kansas State. Yeah, would you be? You want to know a crazy thing about this? Chris Kleeman, he could walk around saying that he's 2-0 against Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma. I think he's going to be walking around saying he's 3-0 against Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma after this game. I'm taking Kansas State at home plus 10.5 to pull off the upset. I like Kansas State to at least cover here. You look at Oklahoma, I mean, it's been a struggle bus. It really has. You survive West Virginia, you survive Nebraska. Kansas State, I definitely think that's a team that has a pulse. They're coming off a loss to Oklahoma State. I think they are a top 30 team. I think they're the best team Oklahoma has faced so far this season. Game is in Manhattan. I like Kansas State in this one. Pull off the upset. Plus 10.5 at home. I like the upset here. Go ahead, give me Kansas State. I'm going to go ahead, take Kansas State in this one. I think it's low scoring unlike the other two upsets. But I'm going to go ahead, take Kansas State in this one. I got the score 24-21 Kansas State. And then the last one I think Boston College upsets Clemson. I think Boston College is actually the best team Clemson is going to face possibly this year. And I think that Boston College, well, obviously Georgia was the best team Clemson has faced this year. But in the ACC, Boston College might be the best team Clemson has faced. Yeah, I know Boston College is a 14.5 point favorite on the road. I mean, a 14.5 point underdog on the road. They're going to at least cover that. I think they pull off the upset. I like Boston College in this one. I know the quarterback's injured, but I'm going to go ahead and take them 27-21 Boston College in this one. I think they pull off the upset. So those are my picks. 30 games this week. I hope I have a better record than what I had the previous week. Week 4 was horrible. We're going to look past that, move on, and hopefully have positive in every category this week. I would love to see that bounce back week. 30 games. Comment down below. Tell me your picks. Tell me your picks for games you don't see on the screen. There were actually a few we left out, such as Nebraska Northwestern was one that we left out that I wanted to pin here but couldn't fit it in. So, thanks for watching the video. Hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to your channel. Great appreciate if you do that. McD the Beast signing off.